Hey guys, so this is going to be a little bit of a follow-up to this video over here. I forget which corner it's going to be in, but I think it's going to be in this one. We'll see. But anyways, so I will link to that video here. Essentially, I weighed myself every day for, I believe, 2 cycles at the end of last year. It has now been, I stopped the challenge pretty much at the new year. It is now the end of March. So it has been a bit since I did that challenge, and really I stopped it because I was being very strict with my calories and my protein, and I felt like I really just needed a break. And I felt like I was constantly having to prioritize hitting those macro goals over any real enjoyment, I guess. So I stopped tracking for a bit. Or I didn't stop tracking my nutrition. I stopped tracking my weight because I felt like I needed a break from that just mentally. And then I have just continued to track, but it's been more passively tracking my food. So what I mean by passively tracking versus actively tracking, passively is like I'm just tracking it. I'm not really paying attention to like how many calories necessarily or how much protein or things like that. I am just tracking what I'm eating and not really thinking about it again, which I personally like actively tracking periodically just to check and see what I'm eating, tracking before I eat, making sure that aligns with my goals. So for example, if I'm trying to hit more protein, I'm gonna choose something that's higher protein if I need more protein at the end of the day versus something that's lower in protein and maybe just like a yummy food. So instead of having, let's say, granola at the end of the day, which is a snack of mine that I like, I will have maybe oats with protein powder and peanut butter, which is also a snack that I like, but it's just prioritizing one over the other because of the macronutrients involved. Honestly, so with the passively tracking versus the actively tracking, I initially really felt like I gained a lot of weight. I think it was something with what I was eating and traveling, and I just was, I think, more bloated. Because I really didn't gain that much weight. I think I gained like a couple pounds, so I'm not back to baseline yet, and it's been 3 months. And I really feel like I've been able to manage things, and I feel pretty good, and I feel like I'm not restricting myself, which is nice. For my whole entire life, I never really knew what my maintenance calories were. And I thought I did, and then I was still like really bloated, having a lot of GI symptoms. That's personally me, probably because of my history of an eating disorder, and that probably played a role. I'm still working through those gut issues, but I think eating on the lower end of my maintenance calories makes me feel better personally, and this is all my experience. I tried to find the lower end of my maintenance with that challenge, but I really was in a little bit of a deficit and ended up losing like, I think 5 pounds or something like that. You can watch the video. But essentially, I looked back at what I tracked and calculated my average calories over the last 3 months and my average protein over the last 3 months. I really only ate just a little bit over 100 calories more than my deficit. And I feel like I've hit a pretty good maintenance range. So I think I might have found the lower end of my maintenance, which is very exciting because I think it's just a good thing to know. I like data. That way, if I want to lose weight, I can. If I want to maintain, I can, and we can go from there. The one thing that I do want to prioritize a little bit more going forward is my protein was not bad, but it wasn't like, I'd probably like to eat 5 to 10 more grams on average per day. So I think I'm just going to try and prioritize that a little bit more going forward and stick to the eating kind of what makes me feel good, because I've just been enjoying how I'm feeling without thinking too much about food. So all in all, it's kind of been about a year since I started this kind of like gut health journey, I guess, and trying to find my maintenance range. And I think I've finally figured it out. It's been a long process, and I think that's part of learning about your body and knowing what works for you. It's all an experiment, and you can't follow exactly what someone else is doing online or like what a friend is doing, etc. It's very individualized based on your activity levels, your preferences, etc. and so forth. Like, it is so individualized, I can't even, and this is not even my expertise. My expertise is definitely more like exercise based and not necessarily nutrition, but it's been interesting. I'm just sharing kind of what I've personally done myself because I'm kind of interested in this and I think it's interesting. But like I said, as of right now, I think I'm going to stick to maintenance, prioritize protein a little bit more, and really focus on my gut health because that's been an issue. If you do like this kind of video and you do want me to share a little bit more periodically throughout that, just let me know below. And yeah, it's just a big experiment and a work in progress. And yeah, I think that's everything. That's my update for my maintenance range that I've finally found. As of right now, I know it's going to change as I age and as my activity levels change and things like that. So as of right now, I found my maintenance calories, which is exciting. But again, I will link this video that I've been mentioning throughout right over here, and let me know if you have any questions below.